And so, like, on the one hand, I think when we're talking about foreign conflicts, it would be nice if the U.S. didn't get militarily involved in a lot of things, or if they did, that they planned it out well and had a real objective and a real exit strategy. But generally they go in guns blazing without a real plan, a real objective, a real exit strategy, and you get into this endless war. And this is the same thing we see with like Vietnam. It's different. Like if you look like World War II, it was like, okay, we need to defeat the Nazis.
Yeah,
but our thing, and then we're gonna help rebuild afterwards.
So here's
the Marshall Plan.
Right. So here's what I'll say. Going back to that interview I was telling you about, the military intelligence guy who was interviewed, what he was saying was that he would talk to people in Iraq who were in the intelligence and military services there, and you had a lot of them who were telling him, look, we want to work with you. So these are people who are friendly to the US, right? I mean, this is a guy who, is trying to advance US interests, whatever. Sure. But these guys were telling him, look, we want to work with you. We are trying to work with you. But the problem is that you guys don't have a strategy. You don't have objectives.
And every 4 years, your complete worldview changes.
There's that, but then also it gets to the point where he was saying, this same Iraqi official was saying, I get visits from the Pentagon, so military officials from the Pentagon, officials from the CIA, and officials from the State Department. Separate delegations with who are not in coordination with each other.
They're just saying different
things.
All
have completely different missions and completely different objectives, and it's a fucking shit show.
Yeah, get your shit together.
That just shows you how defunct and disorganized and inefficient and basically just lacking of any sense of direction or purpose the US government has, right? And so imagine that's abroad. What about here? There is no
like they're not fucking talking to each other.
No, because it doesn't matter.
Like different agencies in the American government don't talk to each other, and they have different agendas.
Right, and that's the point. It's meant to be that way. It's meant to be that way because there are a lot of people in those agencies or connected to those agencies who benefit from the status quo. So
or from this, like this one's benefiting from this thing, but this one's one's benefiting from the oil industry, one is benefiting from something else. Like,
right.
I mean, like,
right.
It's like you guys need to fucking coordinate. This is the same thing they had after 9/11. The problem they had was like if the FBI and the CIA and if they were communicating with each other in a normal way that you'd think they would, they would be on top of the situation. But they're acting like they're football teams who are competing.
And the other thing is the rebuilding effort. You make a good point. I think that
where's the Marshall Plan for the Middle East after you fucking bomb them?
No Marshall Plan for the brown people, right? I mean,
like, look, Nazi Germany.
The exception to that, because there is a lot of racist elements to that, where they go in, they bomb a country, they destroy it completely and don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The exception to that is Japan, but they
nuked South Korea.
But they nuked Japan.
They fucking nuked Japan. Yeah. But but like look at like Germany, like Nazi Germany. They destroyed Nazi Germany. they were Nazis. You had to fucking destroy them a little bit.
But they were
But they rebuilt Germany.
But and there were
And
Nazis.
that's why the Nazis didn't show up again in Germany
There were
until like
former
recently.
Nazis. There were former Nazis after the fall and defeat of Germany who escaped.
Well, they all went to like work
You
for
had those
NASA.
who escaped to Latin America. You had those who escaped to the U.S. and they were left untouched. No
Yeah.
one got to them, and because okay, yeah, I mean these guys are they're kind of
It was like if they were rocket scientists, they got hired by NASA.
no, but I'm talking about like people who were in the fucking SS.
NASA.
Like it's you come across stories like that and you're like, well, why were these people left alone? Why were they not hunted down? Why were they not prosecuted? And you can't help but think, well, there's a racist element there. Why is it that
Yeah, they didn't send them to Guantanamo.
why is it that Japanese Americans were put in
Interred.
concentration camps, right? Whereas German Americans and Italian Americans weren't.
Interesting point. Interesting point that you bring up there, sir.
I mean, is it like
What an interesting quandary that you. What could be the difference? I don't know. Is it something about the shape of their eyelids or the tone of their skin? I don't know. I mean, some eyelids are more dangerous than others.
some fascists are more dangerous than others? Some are more fascist. Some fascists are more fascist than others.
Some people are more easy to hate than others.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the situation.
They're easier to dehumanize.
With
They
Afghanistan,
look more
the Middle
different.
East, that is exactly what it is.
They look different enough that they're easier to hate or easier to not give a fuck about. And that's how they roll.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. And it's horrendous. But it's like you look at the they can always cite the successes and then be like, well, the failures, that was just sorry, didn't work out the way we thought.
They'll never apologize. They won't.
I don't really say sorry, but it's like, didn't really work the way we thought it was, but whatever. Hoorah!
Whatever, bro.
Oh, sorry, bro. Peace, bro.